Hey, what's going on, guys? GUI here. In this video, I'll share my experience on configuring Fairy Stockfish to play Chinese chess variant CNC. So, despite the fact it's kind of the official feature, it wasn't really that trivial to figure out how to run this particular variant, both in command line, and then actually I did manage to connect this Fairy Stockfish playing Chinese chess to my own GUI that I've developed using Electron.js framework, and I'll demonstrate you this later on within this video, so stay tuned. And again, like, the problem is that the documentation didn't really state how to work with this variant that explicitly, and I really needed to dive into the source code in order to figure that out and to bring a bit of a light. And still, I don't really have kind of all the answers I would like to have, basically. But anyway, so it's kind of like it doesn't really seem to be working as expected. That's what I can say. But I'm not really about saying something bad about the project, because it's really awesome. And instead, I'll just try to show what did I came up with so far, how did I use it, and how eventually did I manage to connect this Fairy Stockfish playing Chinese chess with my own GUI. So without further ado, let's actually start. So, well, obviously you can compile it from scratch, and I tried that as well. And one of the most important things to consider when you're compiling this on your own is you need to enable the large board feature. So if I just apart from the other kind of like how to call them, parameters to configure, so if I just go to source and to the make file, so this is one of the most essential. So large boards, you see, like, here is it's set to no by default. It seems like yeah, defaults. So equals, yeah, and here is one of the make commands I've used to build this on my Linux system. So the idea, so the very first thing to be aware of regarding Fairy Stockfish, so this large board allows to compile the engine the way so that it supports either CNC or Xiangqi, or just those games where we have more than 8-to-8 board. So CNC is more, so this is why this large boards is used for. But obviously, understand that most of you won't probably be compiling this on your own. So let's go to the release part, and here is the release. And when you want to download Fairy Stockfish to play either Xiangqi or Chinese chess, you really need to make sure that you're downloading the version with a large board. So you can pick up your own your favorite version based on sort of a processor instructions being available, but I really consider to download the simplest. So I've downloaded this one, Fairy Stockfish large board, this 64-bit version, Windows version for Windows. So my app should be, in theory, also working nicely with this Windows version as well. I have no Windows 10, so I just can't test this, but this should be working really. And on the other hand, for Linux, I've downloaded this one. So I will now first run this Stockfish locally via the console to show you how to set up so-called UCI option, and to be exact, it's well, not really like that. So I'll just quickly walk through the process, and then we'll see how it goes. So first, I'll show you this within the console, and then I'll show you how did I manage to connect this to my own GUI. So let's go. Yeah, so actually, the only one of the good things, basically, so here is just the engines folder for my GUI. So if I go to Linux and Fairy Stockfish, here it is. So just open the terminal here, and I run the Fairy Stockfish. So this is the version I've downloaded. So here, if you say just UCCI, which stands for the protocol for Universal Chinese Chess Protocol, it has, you say, variant default value of CNC already. But if you didn't download the large board version, it would still be the default version of CNC. However, it won't be working. It would be just searching for a regular chess, for international Western chess. And I really broke my brain trying to figure out why the heck is that going on, basically. But that's because of the large boards were not really supported. Like that option wasn't being available within the current build. So we really need to make sure that this is the large board version of the Fairy Stockfish. And again, like if let's say we go then for the natural UCCI new game, it just it accepts the command, but later on it still searches for the regular international Western chess variant, which is really weird, and I really spent hours to realize why the heck is that going on. I can't say that even now for sure, but I just want to show you the way of how did I manage to work with this. So if we so the way worked for me is actually to manually initialize the FEN string, and this is really gonna make sense, because if we have a look at the source code and we have a file called variants ini, which is another way of how to run this variants, and it doesn't even have CNC as the default, believe it or not. And you see, like here we have the CNC default is equal to false, and it's really unclear to me like how to configure this via this variant ini. I didn't manage to do this, even being a developer for long term. Really, it only has this CNC house, which is the crazy house variant of CNC, some weird stuff. So, but anyway, what I've seen here that every single variant actually initializes the FEN of the variant. This is something that gave me an idea of how, in theory and on practice as well as it turned out, how can I make it work actually. So by specifying the initial FEN instead of using the UCCI new game command, as most of us could have expected. So if I just go to UCCI, this sets the variant, the default variant to CNC on its own, but this is not really enough, because this is just a large board for potentially some different variants as well. So I really need to say position FEN and then the starting position for CNC. Note that we have knight and bishop being represented by N and B, not the horse and elephant HE, but N, B. So this is essential for Fairy Stockfish. And also we have W, which stands for white, so instead of R. So some FENs for Chinese chess use an R, but here we have this W. And as soon as we set this up, it will now say go move time and 1 cell. Then in this case, it already looks like a real move that so actually this is the bishop goes to. So I just want to open my GUI at the moment. So just open my CNC GUI I've developed to play engines one versus another, and just show you. So we have G0, E2. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F. G0 goes to E2, and this is the move. Okay, and now let's say, if we say position, start, pause, and moves. By the way, I don't even use this commands in my app. I just use the position FEN every time, which also works nicely. So, but here I can say just G0, E2, and now I say go move time 1000, and it also working. So C6 to C5. So we go A, B, C, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the move, and so on and so on. So that actually now we are sure that Fairy Stockfish is actually playing Chinese chess and not somewhat different variant. So that's the thing to consider basically. So now away from here, and within the source code of my own app, I've added just literally 2 lines of code. So in case if I'm I know that the way to detect Fairy Stockfish is a bit weird, but as far as I have this hard kind of like bundled within the engine, so for Linux I have this Fairy Stockfish bundled. It is there, just the editor just doesn't see it. So Linux Fairy Stockfish, and here it is. And for Windows, I've already downloaded the standard large board version of Fairy Stockfish, and I can even run this using a wine. So just to give you an idea, so I have wine Fairy Stockfish. So now I can even run this Windows binary executable. So select, and now we can go for the same stuff. I can go UCCI, then paste the FEN and say go move time, let's say 1 second, and it searches and gives exactly the same move, the same variation, all this stuff. So this should be working for Windows as well, and even with my app, this should be working on Windows as well. So now I would actually like to show you guys how in particular this kind of works. So again, like only the initialization is a little bit different, but all the rest is actually the same. So the way how it interacts, how the engine interacts with the GUIs via the FEN string. So I'll demonstrate you this now, and then I'll show you how Fairy Stockfish would be playing versus another engine. By the way, that is using UCI protocol, so we would be having kind of like UCCI versus UCI engine. This is possible in my app, but again, like I'm just not using the UCCI specific commands and just interacting via FENs, so that's the reason why it's possible. And for Fairy Stockfish, at very least without UCCI, it doesn't seem to be using the proper coordinates. It's one issue. I'm not sure, didn't test that enough, but I just didn't really manage to go to UCI mode and set up the set variant to actually to Chinese chess, and this didn't really work for me. I don't know, so this is the only way that actually worked. Okay, so now in my app we can simply load engine 1, and let's load Fairy Stockfish like this. And now what happens, so GUI sets GUI sends this command to UCCI and initializes the FEN, and this is what the engine returns. So UCCI okay, and also it did initialize the position. By the way, just to give you an idea how the interaction is working, so if I just make it always on top, let's say I make a new game, so every time something is changing within the GUI, you see like the GUI sends to engine this sort of a position. It does engine doesn't respond to anything back, but at least it doesn't crash, so it means that it kind of works. So whatever position we take, if as far as we are within the analysis mode, we can just ask to make a move, and you see like Fairy Stockfish is actually making the moves, which is really kind of nice. But it's not really the behavior that we want to have here instead. So let's go to the new game again. So what we really want to have is make it play versus other engines. So let's say a Fairy Stockfish would be playing red. And now let's open another engine. So engine 2. And I'm going to be using the Chameleon, which is engine derived from Stockfish 7. So it's really, really rare compared to Fairy Stockfish, which is derived from probably the latest Stockfish, I'm not sure. But Chameleon is also nice. It's written by Wilbert Lee back in the day. And let's make it plain as black. And now I can also make it red over in here. So just to give an idea that both engines are actually kind of like calculating okay. And yeah, so make sure. Okay, hold on a sec. They just started a new game. Yeah, I didn't even know that my app allows to start the game in this sort of way. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. Just I'm used to a little bit different stuff. So I'm right. I didn't even know that this is possible. But yeah, let's just go to the initial position again. And Fairy Stockfish, I want to be playing red. Okay, and Chameleon want to play black, and I just make the first move for Fairy Stockfish. That's the way to go. Okay, and now they are playing. The game I tried ended up with actually Fairy Stockfish crushing Chameleon horribly. I just don't really like, it's just some lags in the GUI. Sorry guys, let me just close the engines, and I just really want to reload the GUI. I'm not really sure why exactly is that happening. So let me just please reload this and start everything from scratch. So yeah, let's make it Fairy Stockfish load, and let's actually go like 2 seconds per move, so we could even 3 seconds per move. So first, Fairy Stockfish will checkmate faster, and secondly, we will be able to enjoy the game. Okay, so just set up this instance again, and load engine 2, Linux Chameleon, open. Okay. Okay, let's make it always on top. Okay, so UCI new game. Okay, both engines synchronized, good. So now Fairy Stockfish, I want to play with red pieces, and I want Chameleon to play with black pieces. And let's give him 3 seconds as well. And I hold my breath, and let's try this again. Okay. Yeah, still GUI is a bit laggy for some reason. I don't know, probably because of my video recording software or something. I'm not even sure, but yeah, it's kind of like strange a little bit. But anyway, so let's enjoy the game, see how it goes. I don't know if the Fairy Stockfish is the strongest engine in the world for Chinese chess. Well, I don't even know, to be honest. Just if someone knows the rating lists for Chinese chess engines, please kindly let me know in the commentaries. I'm really tempted to have a look at those. Kind of like rating lists. But I really like how solid Fairy Stockfish is. It's really solid, and really, I think, can learn something as a human player from watching how it plays, basically. So cannon is now heading. Okay, protects it. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who's not used to these pieces, we can just switch to westernized pieces, but I guess I just shouldn't be doing this during the game because it will probably violate the game itself, so should be done on the game start, I believe. I just don't really want to experiment with that because if I just click it now, I'll probably break the game. Because the way CNCBridge JS library works for changing pieces, it's not really intended for that purposes, so I was implementing my own weird stuff to do that. It works, but it sends new FEN, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so this just might break the game. But on the other hand, I really doubt that someone that is not familiar with Chinese characters actually would ever be watching this video, so it's totally fine. Okay, so is this gonna be a checkmate soon? So okay, so king doesn't really have that many places to go. If red king goes here potentially. Okay, so is it gonna be okay? Maybe just takes. Nope, just protecting the rook. Okay. Yeah, the game is really getting interesting, and it really turns out to be longer compared to the one I've been watching with 1 second per move time control. So this one is really getting more interesting, really. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that he neither tried to checkmate soon. Well, I feel like red is actually much better in this position, but how to win is a little bit unclear to me still. So I don't know, probably just, well, or I can't move the king because that would be a check from a rook. So capture the cured. Okay, protecting the cannon. Yeah, it seems like just black is losing material horribly. I'm not I can't say I'm not an expert. I'm not even a player. I just know how to move the pieces. I played a few games, so it's really hard to command this really truly high level play between two engines. Yeah, but I feel like it should be a mate soon. Whoa, what a fantastic tactics. Oh, hold on a sec. How did he capture it? So just a rook sacrifice here. Oh my god, he just sacrificed his rook. Fairy Stockfish has just sacrificed the rook to destroy two advisors. It's a big king safety issues at the moment. So is it gonna be? Hold on a sec. Why didn't he go here? It would be no. It's not. It's not a check because of the rook. So okay. Okay. Is this gonna be? Yeah. If rook goes here, then just takes. So check. I don't know. I really feel like so it goes here apparently. Yeah. Check. Goes here. And takes the rook. Oh my god, what a crushing position. So Fairy Stockfish is having all the material. It has all the material. So this sacrifice was really a long-term sacrifice. What an awesome game, yeah. What a fantastic one. Check. Okay. Just tons of material up at the moment, and check from this cannon. Okay. Oh my god, just dropping all the material possible, but it doesn't even exchange. What an interesting thing. Is it gonna take it now? Nope. Whoa. Making use of the king in the center. What a fantastic stuff. Okay. What a fantastic stuff here. And red wins, and let's have a look at the checkmating position. What a crush. Okay. Can you believe it, guys? Yeah, this was a real masterpiece from Fairy Stockfish. So yeah, I really feel it was worth of spending a couple of days diving into the source code, trying to figure out how it works, to eventually see this awesome game, like to see how good Fairy Stockfish with Chinese chess variant, how good it is basically. So it plays really at inhuman level to my beginner's eyes. Yeah. Well, okay guys, so this is it from my side. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found at least something useful in this. So from now on you can really try to try this at home basically, and you don't even need to get bothered by installing Fairy Stockfish and setting up the commands and all this stuff. The only thing you need in order to run what you see now on your screen is just have a look at the trailer video on Chess Programming channel. There I describe how to install this CCBridge JS app I've developed. So you literally need the Node.js, and then you just download the repository, going into it saying npm install, and it downloads the dependencies, and then you just say npm start, and then it just runs this app, and you just open the engine like I've been showing you, and you can actually recreate this experience on your own environment, fortunately. And even on Windows this should be possible. So yeah, so if you face any issues, just feel free to write the commentaries down below this video, and we'll try to Actually, I'll try to help you as far as I'm aware of how that can be done. Okay guys, yeah, so this is it from my side. Thanks for watching until the next time, and take care.